Alright, so you clicked on this video because you're thinking about getting the DJI Avata, but you're a little bit unsure. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should get the DJI Avata if you're thinking about it. I also did a video about 5 reasons why you shouldn't. I'll leave a link to it up here. So without further ado, let's go. So reason number 1 is that if you are bored of regular drones, now guys, I have to say, drone perspectives are completely amazing. It gives you the ability to see from a way that humans aren't used to seeing. We see everything kind of front-facing, but flying is something that's relatively new. So we aren't used to getting those really amazing top-down views to go high up and see like how birds would see. So I think drone shots really help to change our perspective. Now I've been flying drone for quite some time, and after flying for a couple of months, a couple of years, it kind of becomes a little bit not as exciting as it used to be. As it used to give me like those big thrills. Otherwise, from when I go to a new location, I don't get that same level of thrill that I used to get when I just started flying. But that is where the Avata comes in. FPV flying is an entirely different world. It gives you this adrenaline rush. You're flying super fast, you're doing weird maneuvers, you're basically, it's so like active. Your heart races as you're flying. It really gives you that pump. So pretty much when you're flying FPV, it's almost like you're in an entirely different world. The goggles immerse you into like some virtual reality. It feels like you're in a video game. It feels like you're flying like a helicopter. Honestly, I think it really reinvigorated my passion for flying drones and just aerial videography in general. Because again, it really does keep your heart pumped and it just immerses you in a different world. So if you're bored of regular drones, I definitely would advise you to get into the DJI Avata realm because it's going to be a whole new experience for you. Something you've probably never had before. Number 2, no need for complex setups or assembly. Now, originally when I first heard about FPV flying, I was told about all the cumbersome stuff you had to do, assembling parts, buying different pieces, learning how to charge batteries. That was a little bit overwhelming for me personally. I'm not really big on assembly and repair. I'm not a DIY kind of guy. I just want to plug and play. And that's why the DJI Avata was absolutely perfect for me. DJI is a big staple in the drone industry. And based on the fact that they want it to be for professionals and beginners, they have given us a lot of features that make the drone basically able to fly as soon as it comes out. You don't have to do any complicated assembly. You don't have to do any complicated charging. It's just simple plug and play and you're good to go. This might not be something that you'd appreciate if you're not used to the FPV world. But if you were just going into FPV normally, you'd have to learn a bunch of stuff via assembly, buying different parts, just learning the whole spectrum of FPV flying. It can get very technical. And while there might be some reasons why you want to learn all those technical stuff, I mean, there's always pros to knowing everything manually. I'm not that technical. I don't love hardware. I don't want to have screws and bells and whistles that I have to play around with. So the fact that I can just take this drone out of the box and fly it immediately makes it perfect for me. Thank you, DJI, and thanks for the Avata. Number 3, it has a bunch of safety features compared to other FPV drones. This one is going to be a super big deal. Now, even for me, who has gotten fairly comfortable with the manual controller, I think the safety features on this drone are absolutely amazing. Now, for a lot of the other FPV drones, you are going to be at a lot of risk. They don't generally hover, so you're going to have to be able to be doing all your movements manually. With the DJI Avata, not only do you have the option of switching in between manual and basically a hover mode, you have the option of, while you're in manual, you can just press one button on your controller. Let me just show you guys. Basically, you can just press one button on the controller right here, that pause/brake button, and pretty much your drone will just go back into its automatic hovering mode. So that can save you if you're in a pickle. If you're flying and you feel like you're losing control or maybe you don't know what to do, just one button and you're safe. And trust me, this is going to help you a lot. Not to mention stuff like return to home features and just the fact that the goggles is so clear that you can actually see everything. You might not appreciate it, but the clarity of the goggles is going to help you to avoid obstacles. So there's a lot of safety features in this drone that's going to make it a lot easier for beginners and even more experienced pilots. So definitely, I think that's going to be a crucial feature for you guys. this is going to save a lot of lives. And I mean, don't get me wrong, once you're flying FPV, you probably are going to crash anyway, but anything to reduce the level of crashing or, you know, reduce the risk of crashing is going to be a plus for me. All right, and number 4, this bad boy right here. Now, initially, this was a con on my other video, but right here, it's going to be a pro. Now, the reason why the motion controller is a pro for me is because, listen, guys, this thing, it grows on you. At first, it's like, what the heck is this? Is it some kind of toy? But trust me, it makes flying absolutely easy. Basically, once you have this thing on, you can navigate your drone by just doing some simple hand movements. Now, it will be a little bit weird at first, but once you start doing it, I mean, in a couple of minutes, you can actually start getting some really cool shots, which is not something you'd be able to do if you're flying entirely manual. So this is going to be for the persons that have no FPV experience. This is going to give you the option to actually start getting shots straight out of the box. So imagine it would normally take persons, you know, months of playing in the simulator and months of doing, you know, maybe like small flights before they could get certain shots. Now with this, you can probably get some cinematic shots straight out of the box. So this is something that definitely is going to be a huge plus for me. The only thing is that it has no manual mode. It only has sports mode and regular normal mode. So you won't be able to do, you know, crazy trick shots, but you're a beginner, so you probably wouldn't be able to do it anyway. If you're not a beginner, then this won't be a pro for you. It's definitely going to be a con. But for all those beginners right here, this has the ability to turn you into a intermediate flyer with little to no experience. So it's going to be a huge pro for me. I love using this. I use both my controllers just to kind of test out and see where they excel at. I'm actually getting a lot better on the manual controller, so I might not be using this much anymore, but I do still enjoy it. It makes it feel like a video game. You literally just kind of, you know, like do this. I feel like I'm in Star Wars when I'm doing it. So yeah, I definitely think this controller is a plus. I didn't like it at first, but trust me, use it sometimes, play around with it, and you might be surprised to see what you think of it. Also, I should add that they have now added in a latest update that you can now use this controller along with the goggles on other DJI drones. I think it includes the Mini Pro 3 and the Mavic 3. So this is going to be some really nice flying styles for those drones. It doesn't have full FPV control on those drones, but nonetheless, it's going to be very cool to have like the functionality of this. It's just going to change the way you fly, and it's going to feel a lot more immersive. Once you have the goggles on this, trust me, you feel like you're a Star Trooper or you're in Star Wars or just some, you know, farther than life kind of vibe. And number 5 right here is going to be these bad boys. The DJI goggles makes flying absolutely easy. Now, hear me out for a second. For persons that would have had FPV experience, they know that, listen, when you're flying FPV, for the most part, you're not really able to see things as clearly. The signal that goes to the goggles typically, it's not very good. So for the most part, seeing small things like wires is very hard to see. What I am absolutely impressed with is the quality that comes through these glasses. Now, all you do is just put them on. They're powered by an external battery. And once it's on and plugged in, you can see things very crisp and clear. So the ability to see those things and the low latency is going to help you to dodge. Like, dodging is very important. And you might not think that, oh, there's lots of things to dodge. But remember, with FPV, you're flying very close to things. So even a micro movement from like a light wire can save you the drone. Like just moving slightly away from like a tree branch could be the difference in you crashing your drone. So this thing right here is going to make flying very easy. It's also touchscreen, so you can change all your settings for your drone right here, which I think is very nice. I just love the fact that it is very clear, like you're seeing things very clearly. And that is something that you're going to appreciate, especially if you have FPV experience, because you're going to be, wow, this is absolutely day and night compared to other drones. So definitely this is going to be a big pro for anybody that's getting into this. It's going to make a huge difference for you. And when you try it, trust me, you're going to, I don't think I can put it into words. You're going to be very impressed. So yeah guys, this is the 5 reasons why I think you should buy the DJI Avata. If you like this video, then the YouTube algorithm says that you'll probably like this video right here.